Amirawahopa. Thank you for joining us. I am Aaliyah Chavez. We start our reporting today in the Northern Plains, where buffalo hunt traditions are alive and well, but with some modern twists. ICT's Amelia Schaefer has more from the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota.
Traditionally, Lakota people on horses would hunt enough buffalo to feed the camp all winter. On this day, hunters and trucks aim for one, but each hunt began with a ceremony.
It's not as how it was back then, but I try to keep it as close as I can to that, which of course, like yesterday, we had a sweat because that's part of the preparation.
It was actually a ceremony that was performed for the young, I want to say the young men, but the young women have also done hunt in the past, and that was to teach them about honoring and respecting the spirit of the buffalo, and how that, and from the very beginning of the time, how we did a close relationship with the Buffalo Nation. We call them Te Oyate, or Buffalo Nation.
Kelly and Yellow Hair work for the Thunder Valley Community Development Corporation, a nonprofit dedicated to uplifting through tradition. This January's hunt was the first for one young man, and it came with lessons to apply throughout his life.
So the teaching behind that, so they didn't just wantonly kill the buffalo, they actually honored the spirit and utilized every part of the buffalo. And so to teach that to the young man, being his first kill, and then also the teachings of generosity and sharing, the buffalo meat with the elders, the widows, and the orphans, that taught him generosity and respect.
Amelia Schaefer, ICT News.
In Nebraska, a new bill would ensure the voting rights of Native Americans are being upheld if it is passed into law. The creation of a state voting rights commission would study barriers to voting access for the state's tribal populations. The new commission would exist within the Nebraska Commission of Indian Affairs and would work with a consultant who is an expert in tribal issues. Already, natives in Nebraska have low voter turnout rates due to geographic isolation, non-traditional mailing addresses, and poor roads. The commission would be required to submit an annual report that would propose ongoing policy recommendations to the legislature beginning December 31st of 2025. In Minnesota, a tribal nation has wrapped up its groundbreaking campaign aiming to educate an entire state about Native American people. The Shakopee Midwankaton Sioux community has ended its $5 million project Understand Native Minnesota. Over nearly a 5-year span, it gave a total of $2.3 million in grants to teachers and even published 27 episodes of a podcast. The curriculum included the most essential information about Native people and tribal governments in the state. It all started when the tribe's secretary and treasurer, Rebecca Crooks Stratton, was spurred to action after her daughter's social studies project asked what Native Americans eat and where they live. The tribe, which owns a leading casino, is one of the largest philanthropists in Minnesota. The state's lieutenant governor praised the efforts.
It's been a tremendous gift to the people of Minnesota, and I am so grateful for the work. And they've really given us a foundation upon which to build into the future. So it is bittersweet that it is wrapping up.
Well, an ad campaign in California is highlighting the cultural importance of Indigenous migrants in a big way. 8 new billboards in Los Angeles showcase Latin American culture and languages used by Indigenous migrants. According to the Indigenous language advocacy group called Cielo, an estimated 17 different Indigenous languages are spoken in LA County. The purpose of its campaign is to change the misperception that Latin-based Indigenous people only speak Spanish. The billboards display messages that read, "I speak Mije" or "I speak Zapoteco," in an effort to make LA's language diversity known among local institutions and service providers. Well, a groundbreaking and fearless leader has died. Veronica Homer from the Colorado River Indian Tribes was the first female to lead the National Congress of American Indians in 1977. Her legacy in leadership is long. She was the first Miss Indian Arizona in 1961, and she served as vice president of her tribe for 10 years, starting in 1969. Homer was a founding member of We Win, the organization foundation called Women Empowering Women for Indigenous Nations. According to her niece, she died Monday at her home in Parker, Arizona after a long illness. Veronica Homer was 80 years old.